Hey everyone, it's Veronica. I have a review for you today. I think this is my first actual official makeup review video, so I hope you like it. And I'm actually going to be reviewing the Amazonian Clay Full... That's kind of weird to say. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Balancing Foundation. When really it should be Full Coverage Amazonian Clay Balancing Foundation. I think it sounds better. Anyways, it's from Tarte Cosmetics. And I got this in the color medium. And the reason why I bought it, one was because I was kind of curious to see how this foundation would work with my skin type. And two, because I love the Tarte blushes. They work really well on me, so I thought, I'd try the foundation since it's, special Amazonian clay and all natural and all that good stuff. And two, three, it came with a, their bamboo foundation brush. So the foundation brush that comes with the Tarte one, with the foundation from QVC.com, it is actually different from the one that you can get, the retail one that you get from Tarte.com or Ulta or probably Sephora. Yes, they are different. I will do an in-depth review on these two brushes, or on this brush because I love it, but I'll do a separate review on that to explain why I love it and all that stuff. Okay. Anywho, back to the foundation. Long story short, I got a good deal on it for QVC for the pairs. That's why I bought it. Anywho, I got the shade in medium, and I feel that it was a pretty good match. It may have been a little bit lighter for my taste, but I could always, you could always warm that up with some bronzer. Okay. So normally I would just use about that much foundation. As you can see, it's not much at all. And I just pat the rest on there. Okay, so this is the foundation. As you can see, it doesn't go anywhere. You can see like how it's not necessarily it's not a heavy foundation. It's thick, but it's not heavy. As you can see, it's not going anywhere. Whereas like Lancome, for example, it would be dripping off, So yeah, that just goes to show you how. Whoa, there we go. I'll do it like that. And then just show you like exactly how light that is. It's like a mousse. It reminds me of not whipped cream, kind of like frosting, really light buttercream frosting. Okay, and then normally I would just take the foundation brush, pat it in, and then I would just dab it on my face like this, and then I'd smooth it around. It looked great initially, but it just wasn't staying power. It really sucked. So I will just blend this into my skin. It feels really nice and stuff, but, unfortunately, it wasn't a great foundation. Which is fine, because I have a foundation that I really like, which I'll probably talk about again in another video. Yeah, I wouldn't apply this with my fingers either, because it feels kind of, like once you roll it in your fingers, it feels kind of grainy a little bit. Not grainy. Not as smooth. It's not smooth. It's just, it feels like when you're a little kid and you're playing in the sand, and after you wipe all the sand off your hands, and you feel like kind of like not smooth. You feel like kind of like weird consistency on your hands. That's what it feels like, this foundation, which makes sense because it has Amazonian clay in it, right? Okay, so there's my hand with the foundation. There's my hand without the foundation. This looks nice. I mean, if my regular face skin was like the skin on my hands, I'd probably be excellent. So I would be happy and I would have no complaints. But my skin's not like that. My skin is oily. Anywho, so initially when I applied it with the bamboo foundation brush from Tarte. And I also tried applying it with the Beauty Blender, and I wore this foundation probably for about 4 days in a row to kind of really test it out to see, if it broke me out. And the way I use this foundation, I use it the way I use all my other foundations, or the one that I'm currently using right now, which is, I start off with the primer, apply the foundation, with the brush, and then I, set it with the MAC MSF and then a micro finishing powder. And I noticed initially after I applied it in the morning as I was driving to work, I would look in the mirror and I noticed that I can see the layers of foundation on my skin. I actually only used probably about maybe like a dime to nickel size amount on my skin. However, I could see that the foundation didn't really blend into my skin that well. I mean, you can kind of, fake it. If you're going somewhere for a couple hours, I think it'd be fine. However, by the end of the day, it seemed that my foundation, you can see a lot of the discoloration in my face. It seemed that the product kind of separated, which is something I really pay attention to when it comes to foundation. Since my skin is oily, I want to make sure that that foundation can, work well to help combat that oil or not enhance it. I did notice that when using this foundation, I would have to blot my face twice a day, whereas normally I would just blot it once at lunchtime and then I'd be fine for the rest of the day. However, I had to blot this once at lunchtime and then again like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I get off at 5 o'clock. So yeah, unfortunately this foundation was not up to par for me. However, it seems like it does well for people that have, more normal skin and not oily. Also, another thing I can tell you is that, let's see, so I use this foundation, on a Saturday. We were all day Saturday, and then we were going out later that night, and so I had to actually reapply this foundation. I had to put it on certain spots where the foundation just kind of like vanished or separated, so I reapplied it again. So for foundations, I don't want to have to do that. I don't think that there should be so much effort put into the application of it also. Like I said, I used the foundation brush that it came with, and that didn't really seem to blend it in, and I love the foundation brush from Tarte. I use it with another foundation that I have, and it seems to work really well with it. However, it did not work well with this foundation. I even tried using the beauty blender, thinking, okay, maybe if I use a nice wet sponge and just pat it on my face, it seemed to maybe apply a little bit better, but however, it didn't change the longevity of the makeup. So yes, I'm going to see, I don't know what the return policy is on Open Cosmetics for QVC, so hopefully I can return this, since I wasn't a fan of the brush either from QVC, because originally I thought, okay, if I don't like the foundation, I at least have the brush, or if I love the foundation, I have the brush, and I can return the one that I actually bought from Ulta, since I bought the one from Ulta before I got this set in. Okay, so that is my thought on the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. I hope that this was very informative for you. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment box below. And stay tuned for my review on the bamboo foundation brush.